welcome to another episode of Beautiful Subconscious. I am Shell Marie. I hope that you are well since our last episode last week, unless you have been binge listening, in which case I really, really appreciate you investing your time and I hope you're getting something from it. I would love to hear what you're taking from it, and please absolutely send it to people that you believe that this could help, because the more people are aware of the support that's in and around them, the more that we can just feel that sense of connection within ourselves, release what we don't need, and not let it be such a big mammoth experience where we can just rely on each other and support each other in becoming the best versions of who we are. So today's episode, it is all about why you need to hit your health with science and subconscious mastery and my 7 tips to reset your health. So at the end of this episode, you're going to get my top 7 tips as to how you can reset your health and live with more vitality each and every day. But before we get started, of course, we like to start with our intention cards. So what I do is I'm going to give them a little shuffle, and this one right now is, ooh, I'm intelligent and powerful beyond measure. Well, absolutely you are. I'm intelligent and powerful beyond measure. And it will tie into the episode because it always does, but the intelligence that we possess within our body, it's all there for our health. And when we realize that all that we really truly need is within ourselves, the more then we're not going to outsource our health and our happiness to things and people that don't know us as well as we deeply know ourselves. We're just going to move out all the fear and all the trauma that have us distorted in seeing ourselves in life in a different way. So I love that. So let's get it started. Your health, it's a myriad of components. And in my opinion, what makes up good health is good rest, movement, nutrition. And I'm not just talking high quality food, but we're talking about nourishing environments, conversations, people, connections. All of that is required to nourish you. We're taking in information in and around us every moment, every millisecond of the day. And we've got to understand that whether we're conscious of it or not, it is having an effect on us. So we've got to be able to understand what's really nourishing us through our environments. The next, I believe, we've got to cleanse. We're moving at such high, fast pace, and with what we breathe in the air, to what we think in our minds, to the actions we do or not take, the rest that we have or do not have, it's going to have things like just stunt and stay stagnant within our body that we've got to help support our system, like a good, beautiful cleanse, like anything else that we value. We got to give it a good, thorough clean from time to time. And then stimulation. Like we want to find our edges. I believe it's so important to stay stimulated emotionally, mentally. You got to feel like we're constantly growing, because you know what they say, if you're not growing, you are dying. And with that, you want to stay connected. You want to stay connected to yourself. You want to stay connected to what truly makes you you and what it is that you value. And you want to have good, high quality connections in and around your environment. And then also, one of the things that I do find quite challenging, or it's my biggest area of growth, is stillness. To really, really embrace stillness without it needing to have a purpose, without it needing to be an end result to something. It's just letting stillness be stillness without any other agenda, and how that really contributes to optimal health. So why so many of us fall short with our health? It's because we live these busy lives. We have unaddressed trauma that affects our health every single day. And we've just normalized the symptoms of how we feel. Like we don't realize how good we can actually feel, because we've normalized pain, we've normalized fatigue, we've normalized anxiety. And if everyone has it, then it just seems like the norm. But there's so much more energy and revitalization that we can tap into when we really address our health from both the subconscious mastery and through the science effect. So a good example I like to give in relation to our health is driving your car in first gear. So why do we do that? Why would we drive our car in first gear? It's a combination of maybe not knowing any better, not realizing that there's other gears that could really support and make our journey easier. And maybe it's just easier just to keep with that first gear instead of asking for help, instead of asking the other gears for help, instead of asking for it to be easier. We've just learned how to drudge our way through every day in first gear. And you just normalize that this is the way cars are supposed to be driven. And so when you're constantly driving in first gear, you're pushing the limits of your engine. You're straining everything to its maximum. The high revs that you get from the high gear, aka the high stress that you create, contributes to poor fuel consumption. And in this case, you're using up fuel because of the stress. You are unnecessarily and even potentially choosing poor quality fuel, aka the fuel that you are running on is poor quality food, alcohol, medication, and this affects the quality of function and the longevity of your car, aka your health. And so when you're running in first gear, when you're running in the high revs, you're running at high stress, you drain the fluids that you run on. And so stress chews through our water, stress chews through our magnesium, it chews through our minerals. And so entirely you are wearing through your engine. And if you're constantly driving or running, like if you're constantly driving your car or running every single, like in terms of you're just nonstop running, you can actually be running, but just you're on the go all the time, you're not allowing your engine to cool. You're not allowing yourself to rest. Plus, if you're not dealing with what's going on underneath the bonnet, aka within your subconscious, then soon enough, my friends, a breakdown is inevitable. So what do? It has to have a science and subconscious approach, the energetics and implementation. We see so many people doing the right things in terms of eating really right, eliminating particular things in their diet potentially, and exercising every day. You know, they might have a physique that is like, you know, very well crafted, and you can tell that they do work out every day and they eat all the right things that's well for them. But they're in this constant state of go. They don't stop. They're just forever just ticking these boxes. Got to eat right, got to work out, got to get back, get the kids, got to, you know, clean out their lunches, got to pack these really good, beautiful lunches, and I've got to help them with their homework, and then I've got to sit down and I've got to, you know, I've got to do my work, but I've also got to read my book because, so you're putting so much pressure on yourself just to be this well-oiled ship, and you're not allowing yourself that rest, that real need for rest. And sometimes with rest, it just doesn't land with you to be like, that's something that I need. We try to resist it so often that so many people turn to conventional medicines. It's just like they're on this train, they're like, I'm not stopping, but if you can just jump on board and just fill me up with whatever you've got to deal with the symptoms, because I can't stop. I don't know how to stop. I don't want to stop. It doesn't feel safe to stop. So I'm just going to keep on trucking along. And that's just the way that they have always operated. Because the truth of the matter is, if they were to stop, then all of the things that they are trying to out-achieve and trying to run from, that it'll catch up to them. And so these unconscious feelings of unworthiness or these unconscious feelings of not enoughness, they will catch up. And that can be even more scarier than the symptoms themselves. Or you can get the flip side where the people are, they're doing the deep work, they're seeing, you know, their natural modalities, they're understanding, you know, their breath work, and they're understanding that they're doing the things to learn and really heal what's been played out in their unconscious. They're putting their hand up and seeing the uncomfortable parts of who they are or what's contributed to the way they behave. But then they just don't know the implementation part. They're like, all right, cool. Like I'm understanding myself on a deeper level, but the action to take now, it's like, where do I even start? What comes first with my health? Am I supposed to eat right? What am I supposed to eat exactly? Like for me, and movement, like, you know, I see people, you know, hitting the weights. Is that right for my body? Because like I'm feeling so many injuries with that. Or, you know, if it's yoga, like, is that really for me? Because it's that first step that they just don't know what's right for them. And it might be a case of trial and error, but they are just needing that support in working out like, okay, for you and where you're currently at, this may be beneficial. And so it needs to have that science and subconscious reprogramming approach. So my top 7 tips to address your health through a science and subconscious mastery approach. And this is in no specific order. It's choose one and then thread it with the next, then thread it with the next, and thread it with the next, and so on. First up, journaling. Like, you've got to bring up what's in the unconscious to the conscious mind. And a way is sometimes just writing it out. I know I have gotten some clients that are like, journaling isn't my jam. And that's okay. That's fine. And we want to just, I believe, take off the expectation of what journaling should look like or should feel like, because I want to have that constant stream, potentially constant stream of understanding. Or maybe they just feel stunted of like, it's not coming out with words. With writing, I'm used to expressing it with someone and having that. Whatever would work for you, first and foremost, I believe, take that. But if there are resistance to journaling, there may be a sense that you're trying to control and try to overthink. And it's just like, just take off that pressure, whack on a 5-minute timer and just write. It doesn't have to be coherent. It doesn't have to make any logical sense. It doesn't even have to be sentences. It could be like pissed off, and that's all you write. And then you start writing about something that mum did when you were 4 or not. And you could just be like, this seems pointless. And you're just writing and just getting it out, because they're thoughts that are circulating in your head, PS. So get it out of your head and onto a page, and that will create so much space for you. Second is move. You got to move your body a little more than you are used to. And everyone's going to have their own threshold in regards to that. So you just want to move more. Move your body will help get the energy trapped in your body moving, the emotions that are stuck in your body moving. Get yourself out of that stagnant place and start to really utilize the movement in your body to just shift the energy that's stuck. But then number 3, contrary to that, once you move, please allow yourself to rest. Again, like I said before, it is my greatest area of growth, because even when I have the smallest amount of energy, I'm like, or if I get to a certain point where I'm like, I'm feeling super energized, I have this habit of draining it all the way down until I'm in that KO'd state, to then rebuild it again. It's just like, why do we have to keep working to a state of exhaustion? And that has been the best lesson for me this year so far. It's just like, I have found an edge where I'm not exhausted. Not always, but it's becoming more and more normal for me to be like, I can do that and then stop and have some energy left for myself just to be. And that's okay. Yes, I'm aware that there are 41 other things on my to-do list that I could really just push my edges to smash out and put myself in a mental state. But I'm not going to do that, because I deserve to rest. And I actually know that that's in my highest good to rest at this point. So really, really absorbing the rest. And like, if you liken it to your car, like if you had, a quarter tank left of your fuel, you wouldn't just drive your car unnecessarily to do things and go places further to feel productive. No, you wouldn't even think about it unless you needed it, unless you needed stuff to do. And you would just let the tank be at a quarter level, and you'd, do what you needed to do, come back, you'd work, promote, however it is, you'd be at home, and then you'll jump in the car whenever you need it. Not just because there's fuel in there, I must burn it out. Like, you just wouldn't operate that way. And we're very much the same. The next point, I believe, is my 4th point, and that is nutrition. I'm not a nutritionist, so please seek one if you're really wanting to dive into this realm. And we have an amazing nutritionist in our program, the Total Life Transformation. But what I do when I'm in just needing that reset, I really dial up my celery juices. I really feel that alkalizes me, it hydrates me, it cleanses me first thing in the morning. It really lands for me. I dial up the dark greens. I drop the processed food. Again, this is an area for me where what things might be more beneficial, but then simultaneously I do like a margarita, and I do like, some sweet potato fries every once in a while, and also sushi, all the things. So it's like you'll again, like movement, will have our own thresholds, but that's what works for me. Is I dial up the nutrition by dark green veggies. I like to cleanse myself with just some extra bits of smoothies and juices, and then also cut the eating at a particular time, so my body has an adequate amount of time to process the food that I've nourished it with, to really let the energy be about digesting and absorbing and breaking down without it being, thrown over the top with the next bit of things that I'm snacking on. I find that really helps. And of course, hydration, like water. It helps me to no end. When I feel stressed, like I just make sure how much water I get, and I will kind of clock back in my brain and be like, okay, yeah, I could probably do a bit more with that. Number 5 is magnesium. My little magnesium is on display here. So when I feel stressed, and just naturally as part of my self-care regime, magnesium is at the forefront of that. It is such a powerhouse mineral, and because many of us in society is magnesium deficient due to the lifestyle that we live, due to the poor quality soil that we have, and how our produce is getting pulled a lot earlier for commercial consumption, mass consumption. We're not getting as great a nutrition and minerals like we used to, or our ancestors used to. And so we are magnesium deficient, majority of us. So when I feel stressed, when I feel like I just need to stop and center, I spray our magnesium mist. So if this is your first time hearing of this wonder spray, magnesium mist, it's Clarity and Recenter Magnesium Mist, a collaboration between me and my beautiful friend Shaughnessy, who is the founder of 1111 Lab. We came together a couple of years ago and were like, here is an incredible product we can come together for. And it has just gone gangbusters. And we just love it. 1, for the scent, 2, for the benefits, other way around, but you can spray this and just stop time because it smells so centering. As the name suggests, it's lemon myrtle and ylang ylang. It's just absolutely phenomenal. So if you want a bottle, please hit up the show notes and I will have that ready for you. So magnesium mist, or like I also love float tanks, which is a big, incredible bath of high quality magnesium salt, jumping into the ocean if you're near it, wherever you can get your magnesium in, for sure. Number 6 is breathing, just a good old fashioned breath. We don't breathe. Our society really does not have good quality breath. And so lengthening your breath, you're releasing the carbon dioxide that's built up in the body. You are breathing out the toxins. You are nourishing your body with oxygen. You can feel it activating your parasympathetic nervous system so you can calm your farm and yourself down. Just the simple act of lengthening out your breath for 4 counts in and 4 counts out for a good solid 5 minutes, say 3 times a day at the start, is going to make such incredible change within your health. You are going to feel so much more at ease. You're going to get better quality of sleep because you don't have just these stale toxins just taking up the bottom third of your lungs that you're not breathing down into, which happen to be our most meatiest part of our lungs. And if we're breathing at the top 2/3, that's that chest breath that's not going to really penetrate and cleanse and give us the adequate amount of oxygen that we deserve to, live off and feed off. Last but not least, kinesiology, of course. Why am I such a fiend for kinesiology is because it gets to the root core of your symptoms. Because we ask your body directly to why you are experiencing the symptoms that you're experiencing. We're not outsourcing your health to a bunch of different case studies and finding like the happy average with that. It's you and what has contributed throughout your journey to have provided you with the symptoms and the stresses that you are living with. And this is why it makes so much sense to me to be able to get to the root core of where everything starts from, the root core of the stress, root core of the trauma, the root core of the emotion, the root core of the bloating, the root core of the fatigue, root core of the anxiousness. Like, all right, what's contributing to this? We ask the body. We are so sophisticated in that way. And when we ask the body what's up and what's going on, it can start to unravel like so many things. And time after time in my sessions still now, we just get wowed with, I didn't realize that would even show up or that had an effect. Like it can start with, the stresses at work. And why do you hold such stress at work? Because it ties in with your worth. It ties in with how you provide. It ties in with your confidence. It ties in with your money, and it can bring up then this belief structure that you had growing up. That has, affected the way that your body communicates to each other. So it's incredible to really get to the cause of your symptoms, to then be shown what's contributed, what it needs to resolve in order for your body to recalibrate at its optimal level of health. So that's it. There you have it. There are my 5 tips to reset your health with science and subconscious mastery. But guys, our program is designed to utilize this revolutionary approach. So it's not only your health that we're taking on board, this subconscious mastery and science, but also your career, your money, and your relationships. So can you imagine understanding what blocks you subconsciously to having more money? Like what fears are really implementing and having an impact on you every single day that has you fearing money, the way you handle money. But then not only once that's cleared, have someone to personally look at your current circumstances to guide you with where money could be leaking and to suggest ways where you can save thousands. So you can literally invest in yourself through this intensive and this comprehensive program, make your money back, as well as understanding your money stories, creating new money habits, having more optimal health, understanding your body more deeply, having more connected relationships, clearing out the old childhood hurts and the past relationship trauma that you have, as well as understanding like within your career, there is so much available. You haven't hit a time in your life where you're like, well, I have to settle for this now. No, that's a belief structure that we can move, and you have a career advisor to be able to showcase you options that are available for your current situation. So it's all there for you. If you're wanting more information, jump on board our waitlist, because this is a one-to-one support exclusively for you. So there is no group coaching. It's your dream team to finally and comprehensively help you take control of your happiness and your health and your success, because time isn't going to wait for you. It's now to press go on your life and your happiness. And we want to be in your corner to help you do that. So jump on our waitlist and let's get this going. So thank you for your time. I loved sharing this episode with you. If you found it beneficial, please share it around. Please subscribe. And please, guys, I would really love it if you could leave a review and just see how it's landing for you, what it is that you're wanting to talk about more of, and however we can get the message out of just how sophisticated and intelligent your body and your subconscious is, the more empowerment and fulfillment you'll have in every aspect of your life. So until next week, take care of you. Guys, if you're ready to get to the bottom of your crippling self-doubt and finally resolve it from its root source, or if you're feeling like your career isn't hitting the mark and you're questioning where life's heading, if you crave relief from physical pain and just need some real answers, and if you're ready to flip your financial script and rewrite your money story not only through your subconscious but with professional practical tools, then jump on board our waitlist now. This 6-month program is breaking new ground in blending subconscious mastery and expert strategy for your success. Trust me, you won't want to miss out on this transformational journey. We are diving deep into those unconscious barriers, and with a dedicated team, we are focusing on your health, your wealth, your relationships, and your career. So hit the show notes, click apply, jump on the waitlist, because this is the way to pave your path to true empowerment. I can't wait.